everybody, this massive grill right here you see beside me, well, it is sandwiched on the front of the 2020 Lexus GX460. Now for 2020, Lexus has made this SUV both more luxurious, more stylish, and more off-road capable, and I want to show you guys all the changes. So in this video, we're going to crawl all over this SUV from front to back, go over all the new features, and of course, we'll have to talk about the price because this thing doesn't come cheap. So make sure you stay tuned. Okay everybody, starting up here at this big grill, let's talk about what's new for 2020 because this certainly is. Now the Lexus spindle grill was on the GX before, but once again it's gotten even bigger for this year. You guys, you're gonna have to go down in the comments and let me know what you think. At first glance, I kind of thought it was too much grill, but I've only picked this thing up today, so I've only lived with it for 1 day now. But so far, actually, it's kind of growing on me. I kind of think the front end is pretty dynamic looking, and what's helping them is these triple beam LED headlights. Now, these are new for 2020 as well. Pretty unique style there. You do get those sort of 3 clear headlights. I think this thing is rather sharp looking. And guys, this color too, it's also new for 2020. This is what Lexus calls atomic silver. I'm certainly not a big fan of silver vehicles. It's pretty boring to me, but if you're into silver, there's a new silver on this Lexus for 2020. Those wheels, they're new as well. That's a 19-inch dark gray metallic wheel, Lexus calls it. Now that's actually really nice looking and not a bad little sort of two-tone look on this silver. And then back here at the rear end of the GX, there's also a few things changed. The Lexus says that the back door, the emblem, and the license plate garnish finish has all been changed. So you can see here, you get more chrome around your license plate. The badge has been moved up a little bit, taken out of that sort of license plate area. And then there's your GX badge. And while we're back here, why don't we just go over how this rear end tailgate works on this GX, because it still is one of the things that makes it unique. So first of all, you approach the GX. Right here on the driver's side, you can see there's a little button, and that pops the glass. And now what's interesting, actually, what I think is cool, is that whole Chimsel light and that whole sort of fin up there, it all goes with it. And then the glass opens up and allows you access into your rear storage. Now if you want to open up the gate altogether, the handle has been hidden in behind here. Squeeze that handle and the gate swings open just like that. So yes, you still do have a side hinged gate on the back of this GX. Now that can be sort of good and bad. Good for getting right in close to the rear end of your vehicle, but it can be annoying too because it takes up a lot of space when you open it up. It takes a lot of space to swing out like that, and of course if you're loading from the passenger side, well, it just straight up gets in the way. So that's another feature which is open for discussion. Go in the comments, let me know, what do you guys like? Gates that swing like that or not? Now there's a decent amount of cargo space. I can flip that around to give you some idea of how big it is back here. But here's what's interesting about this GX as well. This thing is a 3-row SUV. So you can see 2 rows up there. Back here, the 3rd row is hidden. So first of all, we're gonna peel up this Lexus carpet and we'll just leave that back here on the ground. Now check this out, guys. Up here on the rear pillar, we have buttons for these rear seats, marked left and right, up and down. We're gonna go on the left, we're gonna lift it up. And would you look at that? Power hidden 3rd row. Now these seats are certainly not very big. I'll get you the legroom numbers in a moment, but that's not a bad little jump seat if you have to use it in a pinch. So definitely handy to have the 3rd row here in the GX. And also note, guys, once this is up, really not a lot of cargo space left over if you're using those seats. And back down it goes. And then once again just becomes a nice spacious cargo area for holding stuff. Not bad at all. Another thing I like, there's actually 4 of these little D-rings in the corner back here. Always like when there's tie-down points in vehicles. And then over here you do have a 100-watt three-prong plug right there for plugging in your essentials. Now, let me throw the carpet back in and we'll keep going. So now you want to know what's under the hood. Well, let's go take a look at the engine. And in typical Toyota fashion, that is one thing that has not changed for 2020. There were a bunch of updates, but Toyota decided that the powertrain did not need to be one of them. So, we pop the hood. Let's go take a peek. Oh, playing the find the hood latch game. Find the hood latch. There it is. Hello. Ooh, nicely covered up. Can't even really see what that is. Well, underneath that pretty silver Lexus cover is a 4.6 liter V8 engine. Now, in this package, it's making 301 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque hooked up to a 6-speed automatic. So Toyota has not updated the powertrain. They have not updated the transmission. We could certainly use a few more gears in this GX. But this is definitely a tried and tested powertrain at Toyota. It's been around for quite a while, so hopefully the reliability is all sorted out. Now, all of this power is sent to all four wheels all the time. This is a full-time four-wheel drive vehicle, no all-wheel drive here. Now, I want to hop in and show you guys all the new off-road tech on the inside, but before I do, let's just go over all of the dimensions here so you get a sense for how big this GX actually is. The wheelbase here is 109.8 inches. Overall width is 74 inches, while overall height is 73.8 inches. Now, ground clearance comes in at 8.1 inches. Honestly, not that great for an off-road vehicle, but you know, this thing is not a hardcore off-roader, so you can't expect too much from it. You do get those running boards. They hang down pretty low as well. Now, that also means that your angles here, yeah, not stellar. Approach angle, 21 degrees. Departure angle, 23 degrees. And the breakover angle at 21 degrees. None of which are really that good. Now, finally, the tow rating on this beast is 6,500 pounds, although you do have to get the tow package to make sure you get a hitch, and on our unit here, we do not have that hitch. So now let's take a look inside once again, and we'll start in the rear here. So you can see right there, I have installed my convertible child seat. There is a pretty good amount of space. Now, talking about leg room back here, well, in the middle row here, 34.1 inches of leg room. Not huge, but not horrible for a second row. And then that third row, the power third row, which I already showed you, well, leg room back there comes in at 29.3 inches. That's pretty tight. All right, that's enough in the back. Now let's just take a look at the front passenger, and then we'll go hop in the driver's seat. Now, our model comes with this really luxurious red leather. Looks gorgeous, nice and soft to the touch. Yeah, I'm a real big fan of these seats. The rest of the interior is pretty dark. There is some accent stitching, red as well. But besides that, it's basically piano black, a bit of that sort of dull silver, and then all black leather. Now, let's go hop in the driver's seat, and I'll be able to show you guys a bunch of the off-road systems. One of the things that Lexus is going on about is the new camera system on this SUV. So let's go take a look at how these fancy cameras really work. So first of all, let's hop in, and we can go ahead and start her up. This is a push button. And there it is, GX. So first of all, just sort of taking a first glance at the center stack, it definitely doesn't feel super modern. I happen to know that this vehicle, the Lexus GX, is based off the Toyota Prado, which is sold globally, and the Prado hasn't been updated for many years, so therefore the GX, the interior definitely feels still a little old, not the most up-to-date luxury interior. Now, let's go over all these switches, because this is where all the fun stuff is. So, right there on the left, that is for the adaptive suspension height. So the rear end of this vehicle has adaptive suspension height. You can adjust the rear to be higher or lower. I can show you that in this shot here, and that's the knob for that. Now over here, we have 3 different settings for the adaptive suspension. You have comfort, you have a middle setting, and then a sports setting. And this will actually adjust your damping. So the dampers are adjustable. They can be stiffer or softer depending on your preference. Now over here on the left you have crawl control and multi-terrain select. So this knob here has 5 different settings, and it works both crawl control and multi-terrain select depending on where the gear shifter is. I'll show you that as well. And then here is the 4 low. So again, you're always in 4 high. To put it in 4 low, and we'll do that now, the first thing you're going to want to do is shift over into neutral, and then on this button you push down and bring it towards yourself, and now she'll shift over into 4 low. Perfect. So now I can show you, now that we're in 4 low, if you use this multi-terrain selector, it will run through all your different settings. You can now see them there. So you have rock, rock and dirt, mogul, loose rock, mud, and sand. And that will of course tailor a whole bunch of different settings on this vehicle to make sure that you are entirely ready for tackling whatever situation it may be. Now let's go over all the cameras. So we got it in 4 low, and over here on the left side of the steering wheel there's actually a view button right there, and that will activate your cameras for you. Now once you hit view, this pops up. This is a view on the left side of your vehicle, the right side of your vehicle, right in front of the vehicle, and then of course the inclinometer to let you know your angles. Now here, if you just hit anywhere on the screen on the camera view, it will switch to this view. So then you get a bigger view forwards, and then you get a smaller view, and that's right by your front tire. See, I'm turning the wheel there, and you can just see the tires poking out, so you can see exactly what's by your tire. But now here's the cool part. So if you hit this button right here, you will see it will put this virtual image of your vehicle up here in the actual picture, and then watch when I turn the wheel. It will actually virtually turn the wheels on the screen, and that will give you an exact sense for where your tires are on whatever's underneath your vehicle. So this is a new view for 2020 that Lexus has added, and they call it the underfloor monitor because it's helping you to see what's going on underneath your vehicle and to see exactly where your tires are. Not a bad idea, Lexus, not a bad idea at all. And then of course we can go back to this view as well. So in reverse, we have nearly the same angle, down the side, not the back, except the difference is in reverse, if you hit the button, it just gives you the full range, full wide width reverse view, and then you're able to just go ahead and back up. One last thing I want to show you guys in the interior is down here in my center console. So if you reach down and open it up, yes, everybody, that is a cooler box. It's a small fridge, which is pretty cool. It is the winter time, so I don't think I'll exactly be able to use it, but pretty neat little feature there, the cool box. So that's it for the interior of this GX. Now let's hop back out and talk about one final thing, and that is of course the price for this monster. So of course these are Canadian prices, and I want to go over the build sheet with you guys. So I'm going to throw the build sheet up on screen right here, and we can look at it together. Now on this vehicle here in Canada, most of the features come standard. You're already getting that V8, you're getting the 6-speed auto, you're getting the suspension, including the kinetic dynamic suspension system. That's pretty cool. I'll talk more about that in my next video on this thing. You're getting those alloy wheels, you're getting the fog lamps, you're getting so many different things standard. Now you can see here there's only one options package. In Canada it's called the executive package. It costs $6,000. It's bringing along those color keyed mirrors, it's bringing a transmission fluid cooler, good for off-roading, the rear seat entertainment system, that bird's eye view monitor, the multi-terrain monitor with underfloor view, and that front cooled console box. So base MSRP in Canada for a GX, you're talking about $75,950. Add on the $6,000 package and some other fees, and you're talking about a total MSRP of $84,156 for this SUV. Well, at first glance, the GX looks like it's legit. There's some real off-road credentials here and some pretty serious luxury features which make it a comfortable daily driver. The question is it really worth that $85,000 price tag? Well, make sure you come back to the channel because we're gonna take this GX, do some light off-roading real soon in a separate video, and we will tell you exactly whether or not we think it's worth it and whether or not the 4x4 systems there are any good. So that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you go below, let me know what you think of the Lexus, then hit like, hit subscribe, and come right back to the channel for the latest news, views, and real world reviews. See ya.